Well, it was another cold one this morning, and all the ponds were frozen, so the blackbirds were making do with the apples. And I was standing there watching them, and I thought, I best start filming this. And she really does tear into these apples. This is why I leave the apples out. No, that's still frozen, that is. Hello and welcome back. We had a real cold one this morning, a right heavy frost. Down here it was just white over again, and the pond is still frozen there, so I can't really do much down here at the moment. Possibly tomorrow, because we're getting a bit more of a warmer spell. I say warmer spell, it just means that we're not going to freeze. So what I want to do today is to start clearing out the fence beds. I say today, but it's going to be over the next couple of days, and also to clear out this walled bed. I've got so much couch grass in there. It's that's awful stuff, that is, to try and get out. And what I want to do is possibly, depending on what the soil temperature is, because we've got probably around about 10 days till the next frost, maybe 2 weeks. So I'm hoping to start getting out some of the mustards. Hopefully I can focus in there, but the roots are just starting to show. These are looking healthy plants now. What I'm going to do is just put them out bit by bit, just so that, oh, that one's leaves come off. These are mustards. Really nice they are. It's nice to have a hot leaf in this weather. Hands are cold, and I want to get out all these bulbs. This is a Mount Everest allium, and you can see that the roots are starting to form again. So I do need to get these out. They're still looking healthy considering they've been in the bag for the last, when was it? It was September, so that's a month and a half. That's really bad. Right, so let's make a start on these beds up here. Right, so what I want to do is to clear out all these lettuces. I lost those to the heavy snow and frost that we had last week. But look at these. These are the Chinese cabbages. So I'm really pleased with those. They're actually going to get another Chinese cabbage. So yeah, I'm going to clear out all of these lettuces, the beans in the front parts of the troughs, and they'll make it an ideal position for the mustards. I've got wet hands now and they are cold, this wind is. Right, well I don't want to be kneeling down on this wet bark, so I got these back on again. So much easier. So it's a pity to have lost these lettuces now. I don't know, maybe I could have left them, but I think they're just about bolting anyway. I've had them in for quite a while. What was it? It's about 2 or 3 months. I'll have to look at the videos and see. But, you know, they all go to the compost anyway. I'm going to take up the leaves as well. Now I know you can leave them for to protect the soil, but it's also a breeding ground for the slugs. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with them, so I'm just going to put them into the compost. And I think I'm going to start to take off some of these leaves that have been hammered by the slugs on these Chinese cabbage. I've not had one grow this big before. Normally I harvest it before then, so I'm not sure. Should I take the leaves off? I mean, they're pretty hammered, but at the same time, that's where the slugs are going for. Will they start to go to the heart if I leave them in? Oh, I'm not sure now. I think I'll leave it like that. Right, and again, down here, I'll take up the weeds, and these roots are pretty well gone for the beans, so I'm going to take the whole lot up. It should hopefully give me plenty to compost. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to top up all these beds that I'm clearing out with more compost. So I'm going to be adding in more life on top of this, so I don't mind disturbing this bit just for the time being. Again, we haven't been lax, but I know I've lost a few of the beans, but that's not the end of the world. Right, what I'm going to do is just carry right the way down these beds now. So look at those Chinese cabbages. They've done really well, considering I only put those in just to protect the other crops. They were there just to feed the slugs, and early on in the season they worked really well, especially with the brassicas. I've got videos with them 8 slugs on just one Chinese cabbage. They just became a slug trap for me. Right, and it's really nice to start clearing out these beds. I know you can feel sad when you start clearing out the summer crops, but they've done really well for us. And now to start putting in these winter crops and to start seeing these all different bright greens again, it really does lift the garden. Oops. That's good stuff. That's some rejuvenated compost. That's probably around about, it's just sat there for the last 6 months, so that's looking really good, that is. And so is this. It's really nice to see it all nice and clear. But I am going to start planting up in it as well. So what I'm going to do is just top up just these 2 and this one, and let's start planting then. I'm making a right mess here, aren't I? I'll get the brush out in a bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to bury this pak choi, just so the slugs can have easy access to it, because that's what it's there for, is just to feed the slugs. Right, so I've just laid them out. What have we got? We got the mustard wasabina, which is like the hot rocket one. I've got 2 of the southern, no, these are the Oscar. Now this is like a spinach hot mustard. It is called purple Oscar, so it's not quite purple, but we'll see how it goes. And wasabina at the end. And again, I've got 2 wasabinas at each end, and this time in the middle I'm going with southern, which is like a leafy lettuce mustard. So these have all done very well in the frosts and recovered very nicely. So they're going just there. So not too many at the moment in just these 2 front troughs. And again, I will start on this bed as well. Right, let's get these planted. Right, so fingers crossed these actually survive, and a pretty good root system as well. Let me bring it in closer. Right, they've got quite a good root system on them already, so I'm really pleased with these. I'll see how they do, but it may be that I do just mustards. Now I've got quite a few spinaches to go in as well, and a few of those will start going into that bed. But see whether I do just a mixture, because last year I did just all mustards and rockets, but this year doing the mustards and a few of these spinaches, it's been really nice. These spinaches, well sorry, these these mustards have done really well, and with them surviving the frost already, I'm quite confident now that these will do okay in this weather. I've buried the pak choys, and the only reason I'm using leaving these pak choys in is just to feed the slugs. That's what I planted these up for. And that was just to protect the beans. So I was never expecting a pak choy from those. It was really nice to start planting again, especially after last week when we had all that snow. Everything's all covered, and now to see this fresh greenery going in. Right, I'm just going to harvest these spring onions. Not really springtime, but they'll do for the moment. Right, so I've just done a quick layout, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to top this up. I've just put a stopper in place so I can top up this bed right to the top again. And I'm only putting it in lightly, so it will sink down. And then I get these in. Right, that looks all right. So these are the rat-tail radishes. It definitely needs to go out. Look at all the roots. It's really got a good root system on. Now these aren't for actual root radish, it's for them to grow flowers, and then I harvest the pods. Now I think I'm a bit late for them, but it's really nice to start planting them out. And it's nice to know that they are frost tolerant. You know, they survived last week all fine. Right, and what else we got? We got spinach winter, giant winter, and a spinach colosser. I may have to put that one on the screen. That's one that one did really well. That's a round leaf one, whereas this is perpetual. Right, so I think I've got a nice amount of spacing, and what I can always do is throw in some more of the wasabinas, because I've got so many of those. We'll see how we go with these. Right, I put my gloves back on. It's pretty sodden, this compost is. But it's so nice to be doing this, putting out new plants, if they actually come out. It's pretty root bound. That's a real good root system on it. I'm going to bury them quite deep, just so that I've got some protection from the wind that we get here. But I'm really looking forward to these. Now, like I say, I don't know whether they'll be actually flowering, certainly not over winter, but hopefully in spring I get a good flush of flowers off them. I know I'll get a good amount of spinach off these, certainly the colza. That was a real good one for us last year. Well, that's a bit deep. Oh, the slugs are going to have a field day. What I will do is I am going to net this up, this area, because if I remember correctly, the sparrows here really enjoyed the young baby spinaches. They certainly enjoyed the baby beetroot. And on the beetroot, I don't know whether that's in shot. When I do one of this, I'll show you. But all the beetroot is looking healthy there, the little ones that I've left in. Now, I don't know whether I'll get anything from them, but it's worth just leaving them in for the time being. Just to actually see if they do get any damage from the frost, but at the moment they are looking fine. Which is a lot better than the actual leeks. They've got allium leaf miner, but that's for another video, that is. Oh, look at the root size on that. Right, happy days. Yeah, so this is the beetroot, and it's looking fine. after those heavy frosts. So that'll be interesting to see how they go. But this just puts a smile on my face, seeing all these getting planted up. I've got so many more to actually plant up in the from the greenhouse. Right, let's have a look at what bulbs I actually got. So I've got these are the Mount Everest giant allium. It's not a giant one, but it's a decent sized one. And they've all, they've all rooted, they have. Right, what have I got here? They're Winstow. I think they are daffodils. Winston. And then these should be the alliums, which... Oh no, these are midnight. Is it midnight? Neon? I can't read. Moonlight daffodils. They're going a little bit soggy, but we'll see how we go with those. And then I think I got 50 of the Violet Beauty alliums. Oh, I've got some seeds as well. I forgot about those. So I'm just going to leave those daffodils just to aerate out a little bit. What I also got was these plant supports. So I need to put these up first. So I'm not standing on the alliums, because that's where I'm going to be putting them. Right, I should have done these quite a while back. And I think because I can't find the hole, I'm going to do them off camera. But I got these, like I say, from Malvern, and it's a really good idea to have a look around the supports, the plant supports, any of the bulky items, because I think that would have cost me, these three, would have cost me around about £8 for delivery. So it was well worth it just picking these up. So that's what I'm going to do again in the spring Malvern, is have a look around. So there's a few more supports that I'd like to get for along the fence. Right, I'll bring you back once I've done this, because I don't know whether I can get this in. I'm going to leave that. This has a retaining wall behind the actual stone wall, and that's all I'm hitting. So what I need to do is take my time and try and find a gap to get that in. Right, so all I've done here is just use the drop method, and yeah, it looks like a nice sort of pattern there. So what is it? It's 6 inches for the medium-sized bulbs. So that's what I'm going to do with those, and 8 inches for the bigger bulbs. I may go a little bit deeper with those. Right, so while I'm doing this, I've got my bulb planter. While I'm doing this, I'll take you back to this morning when I started clearing this out, because I know that area, it still needs tidying up, but I did clear this out this morning. Look at all this couch grass, and I find it really therapeutic to actually go through it, the beds, because once you start putting one little bit, it just runs just right the way across. But this time I'm not going to be messing about. Normally it's just with a small fork, and I just try and lift up the actual root so underneath. There's a big one underneath here. See, it just keeps on running and running. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving all the plants before I deadhead all these, just so I don't dig them all up. Because it is quite addictive. Once you start pulling it, it just goes, or it just shoots off. Right, I'm not going to be messing about. I've got the big fork. Right, so after such a cold start this morning, this was really nice to do. It started to warm me up. Now with the couch grass, I'm never going to get rid of it out of this bed, but what I'm going to do, and I'm doing this on camera now, is I'm doing a New Year's resolution. Is I'm going to try and do possibly half an hour each month, just to try and keep on top of it. So there we go, my first New Year's resolution. Let's see if I can keep to it. So like I say, with the couch grass, it is, once you start pulling, you just can't stop. And there's been times when I've just literally pulled up plants by mistake, because it just runs right away underneath it. So I've also got a question. You know the clip I did at the start with the blackbirds? Do you want to see more of that? I mean, I've got I think it was 3 minutes video of it. Maybe I'll start putting them in at the end of the video. Right, I think this one is the last one. I haven't missed any. Right, well, hopefully they'll look really nice with the purple against the white of the herb. I'll put the name up. Stylo, is it? It could be, because that was really good along the border last year, or this year, and it's still looking pretty healthy and ready to go again. So we'll see how that goes. It certainly survived well from the frost last week. Right, if I've got time, I'll pop in the clip now for when I do the daffodils, but if not, let's jump over to more planting up. Let's get more of these rat tails in. Right, I've already done one rat tail in that tub. I've also put some of the sieve bark on top, because I still haven't done the guttering for this yet. It's like everything I get around to. It's the same as the figs. I'll pot those up at some point or other. Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to these. They're supposed to get to a 3-foot bush, so it's 3 foot wide and 3 foot tall. So there should be plenty of flowers on them. If these don't work, I'll do another sowing in spring. But you got to be in it to win it, haven't you, really? So let's see how these go. Right, I'll just top that up, like I say, with the sieve bark, just to protect it from, well, A, the rain, and also it's just going to be pouring off the roof. And it should give these tubs a little bit of a feed, as well as the extra compost I've just put on. Should give them all a bit of a feed. Right, there we go. So, like I always say, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again.